Hello. How are you?
Hello. We are streaming We Heart/Love Katamari on Sony's PlayStation 2.
Do you really love it, though?
Well, I have not. This is the one Katamari game which I have not played.
Really?
Although, I mean, well,
this
I
is like the best Katamari.
Yeah, I played the original. I played the one on PSP, and then I played the one on 360, but I actually have never played We Love Katamari.
The one on the PSP is probably the worst.
Yeah, control is just not ideal for that system.
Let's see. PSP is the worst. The 360 is probably, like, oddly the hardest.
Yeah, and that was the first game, first Katamari game, if I'm not mistaken, to have online play.
I think so.
But yeah, this was the sequel on PlayStation 2 to the original. And I remember when the original first came out, it was like a big deal because it was kind of like at the time, it was kind of like this like big publisher were kind of like publishing like an indie game, you know, at the time.
Yeah, it was
like,
a Japanese indie game.
Yeah, what the hell is this? Yeah, exactly. And then like it did really well. And then they're like, man, we need to like do more of this. And they sold it only for $20, I want to say.
Yeah, and it reviewed incredibly well.
Yeah, everybody thought it was a good game. And then the sequel.
It was this crazy time too, because you also got like Sly Cooper then as well. That was only $20 when that came out, and Sly Cooper was amazing.
They did have was another good. Yeah, I played. I think 2 almost to completion. I was like, this is actually a pretty good game. You can get the Sly collection now.
Yeah, but, I mean, actually have.
If you look in the like back in like the PS2 era, and I don't know if we're ever going to have like a golden age of gaming where
quite like the PS2 era that people were just.
It was the PS2 area in combination with like the DS, where like publishers were just releasing just tons of games, like taking chances, taking risks, releasing a game for $20 new that's never been heard of before. But you know, we're never really. I mean, I guess we're kind of sort of seeing something like that now with like all these indie games like on Steam and Steam Greenlight and all this kind of stuff. But to have like a boxed retail game, you know, especially as crazy and just nonsensical as Katamari, you know, I don't think we're ever going to see that. That's insane. Like nobody's going to do that anymore.
Well, and it was from a major publisher. It was it would be like Microsoft saying like, you know, hey, here's this, you know, like we're putting our money behind this, and it's this little franchise that we want to see if people are going to get behind. We're going to call it Halo. You know, it's something. It would be like something like that. It's like, everyone you knew had Katamari, and everyone loved it. It was that was the funny thing, is that the sequel's title was very appropriate because everyone really did love Katamari.
Yeah, and I believe the sequel, if I'm, you know, this is the one game I haven't played, but it's just like it's more the same but just better. You know, I think it was just like better levels and just more stuff, and I don't know if there was more modes or anything, but it was just more of what people wanted. And I believe the sequel came out
like a year or two later.
Yeah, it was only like maybe a year. It might not have even been a year, but it was it wasn't that long. I don't know if of a development cycle, but and I want to say that this game, when it first got launched, it was still, you know, a $20 game. And
$30. This one was $30, which was
it $30? Okay,
yeah.
Right. It was still a lower cost game, but to have a big publisher like Namco releasing just this small game that no one's ever heard of before, it's crazy. We're never going to see something like that again.
Yeah. It was definitely, this was very interesting.
Yeah. And the personality in Katamari, even to this day, is still not matched. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah. Well, and like, I'm pretty sure the creator left after the first one.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
I think he was here for this one.
Maybe it was. Yes, I think it was maybe the second one. But then I don't know if he just left or they kicked him out or I don't know what the deal was. But
I think he was just done. I think he was just done. He was just like, yeah, fuck this.
And I think it's still a shame that I think Microsoft is doing it right by having all this Xbox 360 and even the original Xbox games now be compatible on Xbox One, whereas Sony has just said we're not doing anything PS1, 2, or 3 on the PS4. If anything, we're going to port, maybe select PS2 games.
Well, and they're
sell it for full price.
Yeah, they're porting in some PS1 games as digital remasters.
Exactly. It's not like here's the original game. They're just quote unquote HD, remasterings, and they still sell them for. Yeah, it's not.
It's not like a discount. It's it's $30, and it's pretty sure Parappa wasn't a full price game.
And it's. Like I said, it was a shame because I still think, I bought on PlayStation Network a shitload of PlayStation 1 games, a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. I would love to be able to just take that library and bring it right over to the PS4.
Well, and during the PS3 era, or I don't even know if it was the PS2 era, they were saying the chip required to do the PS1 emulation is smaller than the size that they use for the to control the fucking controller, to process the shit for the controller. They're it's so small and so cheap that PS1 emulation is just free basically. They're no, it's inconsequential to do PS1 emulation. And that was on the PS2. And it's just kind of okay, that's the PS2, and the PS3 they basically just said, yeah, it's all software emulated now. Yeah, there's no reason it's not on the PS4. There's no reason.
Right. Yes, exactly. It's stupid. Why are you not doing this? Let me just bring my library over, or if you really had to, you can pull a Nintendo and you bought it on Wii. If you want to play it on Wii U, there's $1 fee or whatever.
That was such bullshit. It was bullshit.
And exactly, because they spun it. They're we have to charge you $1 more because all these games now have Miiverse capability, even though Miiverse is shut down now. But
was it really?
They shut that down a month ago or something now. On 3DS and on Wii U, and it was.
What did they promote Miiverse just for Wii U?
No. Yeah, that was their thing, and I never understood it. I never gave a shit.
Well, I'm glad that they charged $1 more for that functionality.
It was exactly. So for Sony not to go back and to let me play these games that I bought, on PlayStation 4. And, give me, don't even, just do PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. If you have to even leave out PlayStation 3 because of the cell processor's too hard to emulate, you know what, fine. But the emotion chip in the PS2, which was emulated on PS3, there's no reason why that can't happen on PS4.
Yeah, they did. There was a software-compatible version of that.
100%. So the very first generation PlayStation 3s had the PlayStation 2 chip literally in it.
Yeah, I had one of those, and then it died.
And then right. So they got rid of that because to reduce the cost. And then they're okay, we're going to have PS2 emulation, but it's going to be strictly software based. Not every game's going to work, but a lot of the games will. And that's the PlayStation that I have. I have 80 gigs still PlayStation 3, which has some PS2 backwards compatibility. But if they're fucking doing it. I don't know if it was all of them. It was if anything, it was the majority of games. But the point is they're doing this shit on second generation PlayStation 3s. Why is this not on PlayStation 4? Just give me PS1 and give me PS2 games.
I never understood why they cut out the software backwards compatibility.
I mean, they already
unless it was unless they realized people are buying these.
I can't.
We could sell these on PSN. Which I wouldn't put it past them.
Right. Why? I mean, people I feel would buy this. Like, I bought a lot of games. You know, they had like a PSN sale. I'm like, okay, I'll buy Dino Crisis for $1 or whatever. I'm never really going to play it, but you know what? I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to give you $1 or
one day I might get drunk and be like, yes. I want to play Dino Crisis.
My goal is like, if I ever like win the lotto, I'm going to have all this time, so I can just like, chip away at my backlog, and like, okay, that's going to be the time when I can play these like dumb games.
Do you know how many games I have just in case I win the lotto?
Oh my god!
Do you know how often I've started playing the lotto?
Yeah, I do the same exact thing. Like, I'll be at a grocery store, be like, okay, the jackpot's like 200 million. I'll spend $5-10, buy a lotto ticket.
Oh no! Like constantly at this point, I'm like, $40 million. I wouldn't have to go into work. It's like whatever the minimum is for the Mega Millions at this point. I'm just like,
it's 40 million. Like, oh, that's good enough for me.
I'm like, fuck that. 20 million after taxes. That's not going into work money.
Absolutely.
That's like I could
just want my time where I can just chip away at my backlog.
That's like my wife would yell at me for hanging out in my underwear and playing video games all day. Money.
My God, like, this is why I buy all this crap like digitally and even physically just for like one day. This happens if I get all this time. Like,
that's the congratulations. I'm a full-time streamer. I'm a full-time unpopular streamer.
Exactly. And these are this is honestly, it's like really the only time I'm going to play my downloaded version of Dino Crisis. I'm never going to like go out of my way and be like, you know what, I'm going to play today Dino Crisis, when I can play like all these other games that we have to play and review. But Sony, come on, just like, give me this. Like, Xbox is rocking out of the park right now. They said even like,
no, they're not. Xbox is failing so substantially hard that they have to do something.
I'm talking backwards compatibility. They even went back and you can now play original Xbox games both digitally and on the disc. The original first generation Xbox games on Xbox One, which is
but that system is selling so fucking poorly. They had to do something to sell it.
In my eyes, they're doing something, that's doing something right. Now, is everybody going to take advantage of that? No, of course not. But the people that are going to be the hardcore fans that want to still play Crimson Skies and Ninja Gaiden Black. Give me just first generation, second generation Sony games.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was like someone from fucking Sony said the only reason backwards compatibility ever even existed was PlayStation came up with it. The original PlayStation 2 came up with it. They were the first ones ever to do it between PS1 and PS2.
Yeah.
And the only reason they did it is so it would be easier for to convince parents to upgrade. So if you upgraded, your kids instantly had something to play.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't going to come with a game, but they could use their old games and their old memory cards. And because, like, everyone... Right. The thing was that everyone always bitched about... Because, like, old Nintendo... Nintendo always would be like... Until the N64, for the most part, was like, here's a game... and you don't need it. You don't need a memory card because it's all disc-based. So it was like, just because you bought the system, well, you still need a memory card.
Yeah.
You still need a video game.
And an extra controller, and it all adds up pretty quick.
Well, I can remember my friends getting pissed off at me because they come over and they're like, all right, where's your second-player controller? And I'm like, fuck you. That's where it is.
Or they don't have control. Like, I remember like when the N64 and like you couldn't even like find an extra controller. Even like finding an extra Wiimote, was.
Oh my god! For the longest time. And it was funny because like it went through stages with the Wiimotes too, because you could find Wiimotes at one point, but you couldn't find nunchucks.
Yes, or vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo when Nintendo was like gonna launch the Super Nintendo or the Super Famicom in Japan, they talked about releasing it so you can still play original Nintendo games or like an adapter or something. Ultimately, of course, they dropped it.
Yeah.
But I think the only other thing that had, besides Sony, being able to play PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation 2...
Well, the Atari did it.
I think the Atari did it, and then also Game Boy. You could play Game Boy games on Game Boy Color and Game Boy games on all Game Boy games.
Well,
on Game Boy
the Game
Advance.
Boy Color wasn't really like an upgrade, though. It was sort of like a modification. I always thought.
Right. You could still play your.
But Game Boy Advance came out like so fucking long after the PS2,
and that you could play all Game Boy games on it. So that was cool that they still had the backwards compatibility built in with all the Game Boy stuff, and then they had it for a little while with the original DS. You could play Game Boy Advance games.
Well, the DS was just pretty much the best handheld ever.
Yeah, and then you will look at even like the 3DS. You can still play all your DS games. On your 3DS too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because there are times you want to go back and play, some original DS games because
I can remember when
such a killer library.
I can remember when I bought my 3DS. I had a friend sit there and be like, "Why are you buying a 3DS? Just for the stupid 3D effects?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" No, I'm buying it because it's going to be the successor to the DS. And it was just like instantly like conversation stopped, and they're like, "Oh, I guess that's a pretty good reason." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." Like, I don't want it for dumb 3D effects. Like,
there's unique games on it.
Well, it was like kind of early in the lifespan. I'm like, no, I think people are. It's Nintendo's new handheld. They're going to put games out on it.
Yeah. So I want some backwards compatibility on PlayStation 4, and it's kind of disappointing that they're not even considering it.
Yeah, not seriously in any way.
No. It's one of those things where if they did it, I think it would be a big E3 reveal, during their press conference. You're like, oh, we're going to be, offering, PlayStation, but knowing Sony, they're going to be like, we're going to do it. You could do it digitally, but you got to pay a transfer fee, even though you bought it on PlayStation 3. You still got to,
Yeah. Yup. You have to pay the fucking the good guy tax.
Yep.
Well, and what was it? I'm trying to remember who said, who's going to be the first one to welch and be like, yeah, we're just pulling our digital distribution service. That you just can't download this shit anymore. Actually,
you know what? Now that you bring it up, the original Wii, the Wii Shop channel, is getting shut down. I think actually at the end of the month. I take it back. You can't add points to your account. You can add points until January 1st, and then you have until March to spend your points. And then after March, you they're just shutting down the Wii Shop channel to begin with. So if there's any WiiWare games or emulator, virtual console games that you wanted to buy or play
on the original Wii.
On the original Wii, you have to do it now.
Well, and that's the thing, and it's that's one of those things that some people in the industry have kind of been quietly bringing up is yeah. So which one of the big three is going to be the fucking first one to welch and be like, yeah, so we're literally just shutting down this console, and all that shit that you bought is gone for fucking ever.
Yeah, so I just Googled it real quick, and it's not December. It's on January 30th, the Wii Shop will close. You can still add Wii points until March 26, 2018, and purchase content on the Wii Shop. Okay. So you can still add points until March 26, 2018, and then you have until January 30th, 2019 to spend those points.
Okay, but are they making it inactive?
And then they're shutting it down completely, so you will never be able to download. You're not going to be able to download. Any of those games.
They did say that they are shutting it down entirely.
It is,
okay,
it is. They are shutting it down.
So it is
100%.
Nintendo that is welching first. That's what everyone thought.
When they announced this, I don't know, a few months ago, and when they announced it, this is back in September or something. I think they announced it. What's funny is that next week, people were like, "Oh shit!" and they started downloading games again, and they crashed. The Nintendo was like, we got to restart the Wii Shop channel because people were buying and logging in too much,
Really,
and
that's funny.
They had a restart. So I think it's working now, but I know that when that announcement for like the week after was having trouble supporting all like the users, because and I still have I think I still have $10 worth of Wii Shop credit that I need to spend, so I need to boot up my Wii.
There was nothing ever on that channel that I wanted.
The Wii Shop channel did have a handful of games that you can only get on the Wii Shop channel. Like there was Blaster Master Overdrive, which was okay. Konami released a handful of remixed games. There was Contra Rebirth, Castlevania Rebirth, Gradius Rebirth. So there was there was some games that you could only get on the WiiWare service that weren't that bad.
I'm kind of annoyed though that they're literally discontinuing that's literally a shop that you spent money on.
There's at the end there, the Wii it was trickling with virtual console releases for the longest time.
Well, and that's my other.
There are some good games on virtual console that you can only get there. There's Sin and Punishment on N64, and they released TurboGrafx CD games, and there's no other service where you can download these games.
The Wii U. Unless they're shutting it down on that too.
They're shutting it down on that as well.
So on the same date?
Keep in mind the Wii U is its own thing. That's like the Wii U shop channel.
Yeah.
But you can still access because the Wii U is backwards compatible with
the Wii, yeah.
And you can access the Wii Shop channel through Wii U, during the Wii U, the Wii menu. So anything that's just regular Wii Shop channel, whether it's through the Wii or through the Wii U.
Oh, I was they're shutting that down too? Because there were a couple nights that I got drunk and started buying virtual console stuff on the Wii U.
Yes, exactly. I got a handful of games myself. Virtual console. I got a bunch of WiiWare.
Then games. I was getting pretty drunk, and I'm like, Metabot's the fucking Game Boy game. Fucking, yes, for $5.
Yes, yeah. There's. I got to go back because
that is a bargain. How can I not have this?
It's going to be interesting. I want to go back and revisit this because, like I said, I got $10. I want to make good use of my $10. I might even buy more games just for fear of I don't want to miss out on anything, because this shit's probably never coming back. It's obviously it's going to be shut off, but I don't foresee developers really taking TurboGrafx CD games seriously on any other platform going forward.
No, and that's the thing is it's the virtual console seemed like this big thing when it first came out, and then all of a sudden it was let us never speak of this again.
Yeah, it was like pulling teeth at the end. It was pretty terrible. But at the same time now, I want to download these games and just have them on my Wii, and then my next fear is going to be my Wii is from fucking 2006. It might just break at any time now.
It breaks and it doesn't turn on. So that means that my games are just gone.
Your games are just gone. That's the heartbreaking thing now. That's the problem with the digital age is it's supposed to be there forever, but what happens when the service shuts down? It was the same way when Wii shut down all its online play. You can't play Mario Kart online anymore, and there's no leaderboards and shit on games because GameSpy was actually hosting all of Nintendo's online shit, and GameSpy went out of business. They're like, well, we're done. We got to shut all this shit down. So that's gone.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of really weird shit that.
Yeah, it's something that one of the things, if I get a little bit of time, I do want to write an article about it. These are games that you should download that's only found on the Wii, WiiWare and virtual console and stuff, because it's something to consider because this shit's going to be gone forever.
Forever, yeah. I don't know. I just think it's weird, the concept of them shutting down.
Yeah. For me as a gamer, it's this gives me anxiety. Oh man, I'm never going to be able to play. I want to play this game. And I want to pay for it, and I want to support. But it's it's going to be gone. What do I do? Do I buy more stuff? And then what if it breaks? And it makes me worry a little bit. It stresses me out, and it kind of ultimately just kind of upsets me.
Yeah, no, I completely fucking agree with you. But it's like, not only that, it's like a physical good. I can understand if, like, for some reason my Super Nintendo cartridge was to go bad.
Yeah.
Like, and someone looked at it and they're like, yeah, there's mold in it. You, like, stored this improperly. Because I would internalize that as, this is my fault for being a bad owner.
Yes. Which is different than we're just shutting down your service. Too bad. See you later.
Yeah, and it's like, well, why did this system die? Age. Like, your system is just dead from age and use.
Yes.
And it's like, what do you mean?
And you could just, buy another one, but if you can buy, you could buy, you go to Craigslist, whatever you buy, use Wii, you go to GameStop, sure, but you're still not going to be able to log in and re-download all your content.
That's the thing, That's the
thing, that freaks me out.
Yeah, like, those, once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, they are gone. It's like I don't envision, like, Steam being shut down, like, ever because of this library and the, just the sheer number of games that people have. Like, that's going to be, like, that is a service that's going to be around for, like, decades.
Steam will remove games occasionally from the service, and you won't be able to re-download them.
Well, yeah, same thing happened with, like, Xbox Live, like, licenses change and things like that's, like, I get that. Like, that's understandable because things happen and, like, but just to, like, what if, Valve was like, you know what, we're going to just shut down Steam like in a month. Like, people would lose their shit.
Yeah, I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
I have, like, over 1,000 Steam games.
How many 1,000 games?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So if someone was just like, yeah, we're wrapping up Steam next month, it's done forever, I would just be like,
I feel like if
we're going to need to reconsider this because I have personally given you enough money to make you not do that.
Let's say they do this like if they announced that tomorrow and you had like 60 days before Steam was going to, like, you would not sleep well that night.
No, I would buy like I would take like stock in hard drives. I would have so many redundancy
you would go to the
hard drives.
This is kind of where, like, I'm kind of going with the Wii. Just like, I'm thinking, okay, I'll buy like another like 16 gig card and just load it up with game. Like, but then do I want to spend another like $100 or whatever on like the Wii Virtual Console? Like, but will it be worth it? Well, I want to play this game in 10 years. Like,
or do you just like emulate it because
at that point. But that's the thing, because maybe there is something out there, but I don't know.
There is Wii emulation.
Now there's Wii emulation, sure, but my question is there's like, can you download WiiWare games and emulate those?
Yes.
Or are those going to be gone?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes. I'm just going to say yes.
I haven't looked into it.
I'm going to say yes. That is not an issue.
Okay,
I'm not even going to look into this and just tell you yes immediately. I'm not even going to do research into it. I have not done any research. I like this is like why I like emulation, because like you got to keep that memory alive, keep it going. Well, that's the thing. That's why.
So if I still want to play these games, I still like can.
That's why whenever someone like tries to bitch about piracy, I'm always like, you do realize that there are like games out there that literally only exist in any form because they were pirated. Like, legitimately, even the creators of the game have gone on fucking record as saying, like, the 3.5 discs that they put them on originally have all decayed to the point that if it wasn't for pirates, I will murder you!
Their work would be gone.
Sorry, like, my fucking cat was clawing my leather chair. I just need to scream at him.
I was like, who's killing you in Katamari? What is this?
No, my cat was like... I hear him, like, kind of clawing something. I'm like, that's weird. What the fuck? I turn around. He's on my fucking leather recliner clawing it. I'm like, I will gut you. But no, it's like and they've straight up said like, if it wasn't for piracy, this would have been gone. And it's like even Nintendo in their strong stance against piracy, like they've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Mario, the original Mario Brothers, that they have on like the Wii Shop is a ROM that they just got off of like Cool ROMs or something.
Yeah, right.
And they've like proven it.
Right.
And like Nintendo won't say anything about it, but no, that's totally what it is.
It's like they don't even have the source code to their original game, so like we're just gonna dump the ROM.
Yeah, and no, they don't even dump the ROM. They just grab it from a fucking website.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's like you're not gonna play games like Little Samsung on NES or these super rare games that in order to play them you got to spend $800 online and get lucky on eBay. Like that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to play these games that you're never gonna have a chance to play. We love Katamari, not so bad.
No, it's pretty good actually.
I like the interface. The levels seem
and the fun thing is there are definitely some levels in this that you can go back to when they change.
Yeah, because you can like start it like with the balls bigger right away, and then you could find the secret guy in each level.
No, the levels themselves actually change.
That's cool.
There's one of them that it's the goal of the level is to get the guy big enough to like fight another like sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
And like what you do is every time you go into the level, you get them bigger and bigger and bigger. And like at the end, you basically Yokozuna or whatever, the heavyweight of Japan. Like that's the last level is you finally make him Yokozuna.
Yeah, I mean, Katamari games have always purposely been designed to have just like low poly counts, but it seems like there is more detail here in the second game here than the first game for sure. It's colorful. It seems to just run.
Yeah, it's like the colors are just they pop out more.
Yeah, they do pop out more.
It's like the team knew what they were doing.
More refined. Yeah, there's more detail here. Yeah. It looks just better, well designed. The interface, in between levels, is a little creative.
Yeah. This one, this is kind of like the happy medium between all of them. Yeah. After this, they start kind of being the blatant, like, oh, this series was popular, we should really fucking cash in.
Yes. That's where I think the 360 version started to do that.
I think the PSP was like There's first PSP. One.
Yeah, then there was like Katamari Forever on PlayStation 3. Like there's been like at least one on like every major console.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it was on PSP, and like there were like people who were still fans of the series that were just like, I think it's like you could tell they were trying. It's just the control screen. Because, didn't it, not have 2 analog sticks or something?
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
And they're like, they were really trying, and you could tell, and it's like, everyone was, trying to make, a lot of fucking excuses for that game. Yeah. And then, I own the 360 one. I own it. And, I will go back to that game to try and play it occasionally. And I'm just like... This game, I remember having problems with that game, but I have problems every time I play that game. There are times that you have to, what the fuck was it? You have to get an item hot, hot enough for a certain thing.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
and it's if you roll over something cold, it cools you down.
Yeah,
and the problem is that it's, certain things cool you down, to such a degree... that it's an instant game over, even if you're about to win.
And the thing with the Katamari games, to your point, they don't control because you're controlling this big blob.
You're not supposed to
and you're not
have
supposed to
perfect control.
Yes.
That's the point.
and it becomes a little frustrating, especially on the PSP because you only had the one analog stick and you had to smash the buttons together to get things to control.
Yep. So I think that's good for Katamari this week.
Yeah, that has been We Love Katamari on PlayStation 2. Good to go back and play some older games. I like doing this. I appreciate it. Something a little different. But go check out MyGamer.com. It's the end of the year. We just posted a bunch of new reviews and stuff, news to kind of wrap up the year. A little bit more coming, so we got a couple more weeks left here in December before we go into 2018. Put it in your bookmarks. Again, MyGamer.com. I am Zach Gaz on Twitter, ZACKGAZ. And what else? You could follow us at MyGamer News on Twitter. You're obviously watching us here on Twitch.
Or YouTube if it's later. Hey, YouTube, we're always hiring, by the way.
Yes, this is true.
If you want to get some free games, feel free to hit us up on MyGamer and let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, click on basically any article. I pinned it so you can just click on it and you say MyGamer is hiring. Yeah, I really want to hire another couple good writers to help us give some more content.
And you get free video games.
And I can get you, especially if you have a Steam account, I can get you free games every week pretty much. We need some help. We want to grow our site a little bit. And this could be you. You can be helping us out. So check that out. Don't be afraid to apply.
All right. So
until next week, thanks for watching and game on.